You know, there's no doubt that the Yamamoto Hula Grub is one of the most versatile baits that you can fish for bass. And there's an infinite number of ways that you can actually rig this bait and fish this bait. But for me, there's a couple of primary ways that I fish this bait and rig it up. And it really depends upon what type of cover that I'm going to fish. Am I going to fish the bait in open water, in deep water structure, or am I going to, you know, flip and pitch it into heavier cover? And that comes down to what type of head am I going to pick. And primarily, I select two different heads. It's the 66 series Yamamoto jig head, which is kind of a rounded archy style head with a weed guard, and that is the head that I'm going to fish around, mostly out in deeper water, fishing the bait on the bottom, open water circumstances, but I'm casting and retrieving that bait along the bottom. That's the head that I'm going to pick, and typically in a 3/8 ounce size. If I need a little bit more beefier hook and a different head style, and I'm fishing the Hula Grub in heavier type cover, whether I'm flipping it in grass or fishing it in wood or, you know, that sort of thing, I'm going to go to the 67 series flipping head. It's got a little bit more cone shaped head, still has a weed guard, has a little bit beefier hook than the other style jig head, a little bit lighter wire hook on that one, and the flipping head has a much beefier hook on it. So you know, getting the fish out of that heavy cover, that heavier hook really comes into play. But rigging this bait on either one of those heads is exactly the same, and all I want to basically do is take the body of the Hula Grub, and I want to insert it skirt up and thread the bait all the way up around that hook, and right about where the tails start is where I'm going to pull the hook point out, and I'm going to thread that bait all the way up over the collar of the jig head. So you get that type of presentation right there. That is the perfect way to rig your Hula Grub on either head, and the perfect way to fish it. So if you haven't experienced the power of the Hula Grub and how good it can be for catching not only big fish, but quantities of fish too in open water circumstances and flipping in heavy cover, you owe it to yourself to get out and try some Gary Yamamoto custom baits, Hula Grubs, either 93 series, 97 series, either one of them. They're both great choices. I'm Mike DelVisco, and I'll see you on the water.